Hello everyone, this is Lawrence. This is going to be a quick video of a feature new artist I've discovered about 5 years back when their debut album came out, and I discovered them accidentally as I was looking on Spotify of related artists. That means I was looking at one artist and I pushed the related artist button and found this group, and I was what attracted me was their album cover. I thought it was so cool, and as I got listening to their music, I just got in amazement. Okay, and I'm talking about the band Temples, and this is their 2014 debut album, Sun Structure. Isn't that a cool cover? So Temples is an English rock band formed in Canterton, England in 2012. So they're new, by singer and guitarist James Bagshaw, bassist Tommy Wimsley. The lineup was completed later by rhythm guitarist Adam Smith and drummer Renel Attic. Can't pronounce that name. They've had 3 studio albums out, along with some singles and an EP. But we're just going to focus on their 3 album releases here. Okay, Sun Structure. This sounds like it was recorded in 1967. Their genre is psychedelic rock, neo-psychedelic, psychedelic pop, and alternative rock. This sounds like it could have been recorded in 1967, but in a modern studio. Okay, this really, I would say this can stand head and shoulders with any music of 1967 that had a psychedelic, trippy feel to it. This album is amazing. It's like they're trapped in a time period, but it doesn't sound stale or outdated. It's sort of like these new artists is getting you're getting their take on this old form of music from a youthful perspective. The title, it starts off with the Shelter song, which is really cool and catchy. It could sound like it could have been a Monkees song. And then the Sun Structure, the second song, the title song, it's sort of like the Iron Butterfly song in the I can't pronounce it, but shorter version, and it is great. The last song, Move with the Season, which is the last song on side 1, the harmonies are amazing. It's sort of like the Hollies. Okay, moving on, 2 years later, we got the album Volcano, and they really threw us a curveball on this album because it sounds more like 80s synth pop or rock. Okay, and this album, while the first album you just hear the entire album the first or second time, every song registers in your head. But this album took a little longer for that to happen, but once it did, it's amazing. It's not as psychedelic or trippy as the first album, but it's I found myself just glued to it. And so I would start out with Sun Structures first, and then go to Volcano. Then, last November, they released their 3rd album called Hot Motions. We're back to the cool psychedelic stuff. And the first single was the title track, Hot Motion, and then you're either on something. The song is called the second single. This is really, really, really trippy, psychedelic, pot smoking, trippy head music. I will say this. They're one of these bands that, in my opinion, while they're good live, I think at this point they're a better studio band because they use the studio to the max. Um, so don't expect it to be minimalistic. And we're going to open this up here. This is cool. You got a poster. I'm not going to open it, but it's basically a poster of this. That new album, Smell. And right there. And this is the album where they replaced their first drummer with the one they have now. But nothing is missed here. One other thing I'll mention about this band. James Bagshaw, who's like the front man, the leader, the main guitarist, writes the bulk of the material. They had the two other members, Tom Wimsley, who's the bass player. He's a great bass player, and keyboardist, rhythm guitarist Adam Smith. They also write two songs as good as James. So they have three great songwriters in here, which is rare. That is rare because that only happens like the Fleetwood Mac, Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, Christy McVie, the Beatles, George Harrison, John Lennon, and George Harrison. Three writers. So just go in. I will provide a few links to get you started to their songs, but go in and start off with Sun Structures. And you may want to just go to Hot Motion next and then absorb Volcano, or you might just want to follow 1, 2, 3. So just a shout out for this band who does not get enough attention in this country. They've toured numerous times here, but and they've developed a fan base, which is great. But a lot of people don't know about them. They deserve to be heard. And if you like the music of the psychedelic area, you will love this band. Thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a good day. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. And if you go back and listen to some of their music, please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so very much for watching, and subscribe.